Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Pokemon Platinum. Last time, we made it to Floroma Town when exploring the surrounding area and found the Valley Windworks. The town's power plant has been overrun by Team Galactic. This time, now that we have the Works key, we are going inside and not ordering the Works on our pizza. We are unlocking the door and going in after them.
Oh.
What? No way, you have the key? Yeah, you shouldn't have mentioned that there was another key. Locking the door was meaningless. I'm the loser in this after all. There's no time for self-pity. I've got to alert the commander. Well, while you're alerting the commander, I'm just gonna go over here and see if this box has any items in it. Okay, no, I wasted my time. Well, I could have stopped him, but then I just had to go and do something like that. Now, I've done a little bit of off-screen training. I would recommend that you do as well, minus the off-screen part, because I doubt you're also recording a series of this game while playing along with me. And if you are, kudos for juggling that many different elements. Anyway, Zubat, I don't think got a level though, but we can see that Bodhi is now level 17, and it did learn a new move. We'll be showing that off next time Bodhi does some fighting. For now though, I think I'm just gonna spam Bite on this other Zubat. Let's see. Also, this is gonna sound really strange, but if you wanna be efficient and you wanna run into different kinds of Pokemon, it's recommended that you fight Team Galactic on a Thursday. I know that sounds really stupid, and it kind of is, but trust me, you want to fight Team Galactic on a Thursday specifically. It's actually kind of helpful for you to do so. What? Some brat messed up my job. You only had one job. Now, I'm going to be battling this guy as well. Normally, I would just skip right past him because he's not a required trainer, which, by the way, that was all the off-screen training I did was just fighting all the trainers that I skipped on Route 204. But just like in the case of gym leaders, if you have any sort of Team Galactic or anything like that you're fighting, that you're trying to get to leave someplace, you will not be able to fight the regular Galactic Grunts after you have challenged the commander, so keep that in mind. Then gonna go over the Supersonic right here, once again getting lucky. Seems like all that bad juju from last time when I missed 4 times in a row is long gone. Now if you can hit yourself, that'd be really wonderful. Nah, I can't win them all. I think I'd probably better switch. That's bad. All right. Well, on the plus side, I can show off Bodhi's new move. Open your mouth at it, roar. Like a turtle is known to. I think it's supposed to be that it's snapping with its animation, but because it does its crat stand, it looks like it's roaring. Okay, so I replaced Withdraw with Curse. This lowers my speed, but it ups my attack and defense together. It's a really good move, and it'll be really helpful in boss fights and the like coming up. But I think for now, I don't really need to use it. I will definitely be using it in the near future, as I think it is one of the best moves out there. It is worth noting that if a Ghost-type Pokemon uses Curse, it has a different effect where it basically inflicts a poison-like status at the cost of 1/2 of your HP. But I don't really think it's all that necessary. Hey, Zubat getting to level 16, that's not bad. It's, okay. I'm gonna stick with Bodhi. I'm sorry, like, I'm kind of tempted to switch over to Zubat to give it some of the experience, but I had a hard time against a Stunky last time. I don't want to chance it. And that poison gas, I know I would have been immune to that if I would have switched into Zubat, but still, it's just, after seeing what it can do last time with those critical hits and using Fury Swipes and using Screech, I'd better do that. Once again, I'm using Razor Leaf over Tackle, because when it comes to damage calculation, unless it is quad resisted, I am doing more damage with it. And hey, Quick Claw, yes! Finish you off, please. Really don't want to give that Stunky any chance to do much of anything. And that does it. Bodhi gonna get a level? Not quite. I really don't like kids who happen to also be tough trainers. I know, it's a very unfortunate combination whenever it comes to you criminal syndicate types. What do you say? You don't have an inkling of what Team Galactic is trying to achieve. Do I have an Octoling then? Of course, they don't tell a grunt like me anything either, but still. So you really have no idea what you are doing. I gotta say, Team Galactic is really funny. I didn't realize it though, but their battle quotes have just been consistently hilarious. It's great. If you couldn't tell, I'm going back to heal real quick. Back at the Windworks, here we go. I'm one of Team Galactic's 3 commanders. No, wait, that's one of 4 commanders. My name is Mars. We've been trying to create a new world that's better than this one. But people have shown little understanding about what we do. Well, to be fair, even your own grunts don't seem to understand what you're doing, so I think that's kind of on you. You don't understand either, do you? It's a little saddening. So let's have a battle to decide what we should do next. If I win, you leave. If you win, we, Team Galactic, will leave. Well, those are pretty simple terms. Here we go, battling our first of the Galactic Commanders. First of many, if she is to be believed, not even knowing the number herself. She is gonna start out with Zubat, level 15, poison flying type, inner focus for its ability, so no flinching. Bite, leech life, and toxic. It has a better poisoning move than I have on my Zubat. I'm guessing she must have gotten a TM or something like that. Toxic, we haven't seen it yet, inflicts badly poisoned. That'll make it so that the damage will steadily increase exponentially every turn. So, steadily, exponentially, that's a bit of a contradiction, but you know what I mean. It'll do like 1/16 one turn, 2/16 the next turn, etc. It just gets worse and worse as time goes on. It's a more dangerous status, that's to be sure. Now, I really could have used at least one flinch right there. That would have been nice to get here, because Zubat is already really low on health. Oh. I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do here. Let's see. Okay, next up, Purr Ugly. You might laugh at its name, but you really should not be laughing. This thing is very formidable. It is a beast. That's not to say that Purr Ugly is really a good Pokemon, but for this early on, it has ridiculously high stats, which is why I sent out Bidoof against it. Alright, what I'm doing here might be seen as a little bit cheap, but I want Zubat to have a good fighting chance, so I'm throwing Bidoof out there as a bit of a sacrifice so that I can heal up Zubat and get a free turn out of it. This is really cheap, like I said, but still, it is good to do if you ever are in a tight spot like this. Anyway, Purr Ugly is level 17, normal type, thick fat for its ability, holding an Oran Berry, so when it gets low in health, it'll restore 10 HP. And it has Feint Attack, Scratch, and Fake Out. If you're using Chimchar, note that it has that thick fat ability, as it basically gains an artificial resistance to fire type moves. It's not fair, and it's really sucky, but that is how it is, and you... Man, for being so chunky, you wouldn't think it would outspeed my Zubat, but it does. I was just trying to confuse it. It wouldn't have survived, or I would have just kept Zubat in without doing anything. I'm basically just gonna go for the bite here. If I can't get it to flinch. I can get it to hurt itself, even though that, wow, did not do much. I don't know, when I first played Diamond, I remember thinking that Purr Ugly was gonna be like such a good Pokemon competitively. I hadn't looked up any stats on it or its abilities or anything, but it was purely because of this fight. I remember losing this fight twice when I first played this on Diamond, and I'm admittedly nervous. The fact that jeez, what should I even do? I don't want Zubat to faint because happiness, but I also can't outpredict it snapping out of confusion. And it goes first, so I can't really rely on the flinch. So, all around, I'm just in a really bad situation here. Yet, do I want to switch to Turtwig is the main thing, because... oh boy, this is... At prediction powers, go! No, didn't get it, damn it. And it doesn't attack itself either. No. I got Curse. I could use that. Sighing a lot right now. As much as I want that happiness, I just don't think it's worth it. Yeah, down goes Zubat. Sorry, buddy. Didn't really have much I could do there. Bodhi, it is your time to shine. You are level 17, so you can at least stand toe-to-toe with it on level, even if you can't in terms of evolution. It's gonna be faster than me, no doubt. I'm not confident that my Razor Leaf can beat it in one shot, so I'm gonna go for the Curse right here and up my defense just so I can tank a little bit better. Now, this is risky. If it gets a critical hit, it's gonna ignore the buff to my defense so that I might actually be in trouble if I do that. I'll go for, let's actually try attacking right now. If I beat it right here, I didn't really save myself any turns other than just having the higher defense, but we'll see. We'll see. Come on. Do it, Bodhi. Okay, that went a lot better than I thought it would. 666 experience. That is so fitting for how much trouble that thing gave me in the past. Get to level 18? And wow, a lot of change as well. This can't be. I lost. You talked too fast for me to even see what you're saying. I seriously wasn't even hitting the A button. It just went that fast. Yes! Bodhi is evolving. So exciting though, because Turtwig evolves the latest of any of the Sinnoh starters. If you would have picked Chimchar, it would have evolved first. Piplup, it would have evolved second though, but in this case, no, it evolves really late, and oh, that is so nice. So fitting from that battle too, because that was a tough one. Yeah, I bet you messed that one up. You just made me how much stronger from your defeat? You quite enjoyed it though. My, lose to a child, will you? But no matter, we've collected plenty of electricity. With the power we obtained, we can do something quite spectacular. seems obvious to me, Charon, that the genius even the boss recognizes. Now, Maz, we should be going. Will you shut it? The boss is the only person in the world who's allowed to order me around. You can keep quiet around me. You only just joined us recently. You don't think you're important. I guess it's time to say goodbye and leave for the time being. Team Galactic. They were saying that they had to gather Pokemon and energy no matter what. It was for creating a new universe, or so they claimed. Nothing they said made any sort of sense to me. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you saving me. I can finally see my little daughter again. That was right on cue. Papa! Yuck, Papa, you're stinky. Go shower now. Stinky. How long was this hostage situation going on? Man, maybe I really should have rescued him sooner. Oh, they had me working non-stop. Thank you, trainer. You made those bad people go away. I think the balloon Pokemon will come visiting again. That makes a lot of sense out of context, but yes, a balloon Pokemon appears in front of the Windworks. It's on a certain day of the week, yeah. It is only on Friday that you can encounter this thing, so that's why I recommended beating Team Galactic on a Thursday. If you beat it on a Friday, it will not spawn in until a week after that point. And oh, looker, you show up right just in time to miss the bad guys once again. Well, I mean, you were early last time, you were late this time, so it balances out. I say that equals 1 capture. I have heard that Team Galactic appeared in this power plant. I have, therefore, come running. So, the Team Galactic, where are they? You have run them off, you say. You are a trainer, but... Very well, I shall go investigate inside. Let's go back in after him just to make sure he's okay. Or not, he'll just come right back out. Magnificent! Yes, it is. What you have said, it is all true. Superb! Though you are young, you are a trainer through and through. Very well, I shall pursue the culprits. I have received tips that Team Galactic hideout is in Eterna City. To there, I must be off. So we have even more motivation to head off to Eterna than we did before. Team Galactic is there, as well as the second gym. However, I don't think we want to head out just yet. I think it would be more important if we, A, saw what kind of things we can get from our berry plants, B, saw what we can get from our honey, and C, I guess heal up our Pokemon as well. So I waited until early the next morning to do this. So let's go ahead and pluck our berries. The harvest is looking rather bountiful. We get 5 Pecha berries right here. I know I said Pecha earlier, but it is actually Pecha. I've had a hard time breaking that habit because they are based on peaches. Well, I gotta say, with how long I had to wait for these berry plants to finish sprouting, I'm betting that little girl is very happy I didn't wait until the next day to save her father if his BO was already that bad by the time I did get around to saving him. Now, this one right here. The soil looks dry even though it is sprouted. I can say no to plucking them and choose to sprinkle some more water on it. If I were to wait longer, it would have more than 5 orange berries on it, so I think I will do that. You can wait a little bit longer to get even more berries than what you would on the initial sprout, but if you wait too long, the plant will die, the berries will fall off, and it'll just begin anew, so... yeah, you don't want to wait too long. It's like a chicken race. Now, I say we check on our honey trees. Who was our first customer of the day? We get... Combee! Well, Combee is the first of many. There are many, many Pokemon you can obtain by slathering trees with honey. By many, many, I mean a lot. Like a lot. And by a lot, I mean, well, 6. Okay, it doesn't sound quite as cool whenever I do that. I think I overhyped it, but since we can obtain all these Pokemon right now, while I'm taking care of this, I think I do want to kind of stop right here and just go over them one by one, because we can obtain all of them right here. This is not going to be a regular thing, just this once. So first off, I want to go over, not Combee, but Burmy. This is the first time that I'm going over a split evolution and talking about its evolved forms. In cases like this, I will not be using the fully evolved stats in the stats box over there. It'll just merely change as I talk about the different forms to show you what the options are. This is a very different bug type. First and foremost is that it evolves later than other bug types that we have seen. That's not to say that it's bad. It's not far off from learning Bug Bite, which is a really interesting move. It does damage, and it'll eat the opponent's berry if it's holding one. Since a lot of boss's Pokemon carry berries, you might want to use it for that purpose. In addition, male Burmies will evolve into Mothim, who was more offensive, while females become Wormadam, who is more defensive. Mothim is more offensive, but it is a bit generic as a bug flying type. There's an abundance of these out there, and I'd really only suggest it if you want a short-term solution to all these grass types and bug types that we're fighting. Burmy will change its appearance depending on where it last battled, but it doesn't really have any bearing on its type until it evolves. Basically, whatever form it has when it evolves will determine the type that Wormadam is. It can become Bug and Grass type if it evolves after battling in tall grass, Bug Ground in caves, or Bug Steel in buildings. I think Bug Steel is the best of these, just because it's a very good defensive type, but the issue with that is that it's going to take a little bit of planning if you want to make it evolve inside of a building, so you're going to need to level it up a bit wisely. Second is Aipom. It's a very generic and weak normal type Pokemon. Until this generation, that is, Aipom was very in need of an evolution, and it got one. A good one. You can only encounter Aipom at pretty low levels because honey trees don't have their levels go up as you go throughout your adventure, so evolving it will never get any easier. But if you can get it up in levels until it can learn the move Double Hits, you will get greatly rewarded. It is a great annoyer, learning moves like Fake Out and tons of TMs. It is great if you want to go for that, but it will be a tough road getting there. Third up is easily one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Heracross. Look at those stats. It doesn't evolve. That's what it has right now if you were to catch it. Has guts for an ability, and it also has some pretty decent bulk. It's not frail for being an attacker. It is not far off from learning both Aerial Ace and Brick Break, which will make quick work of just about anything you're going to be encountering for a long time. We've been fighting a lot of grass and bug types, and that's not going to end anytime soon. If you want a good physical attacker, Heracross is one of, if not the best in the business as of this point. The only real downside of it is that ability only activates when it has a special condition, and while there are some strategies you can do to purposely inflict it with a status condition, you're not going to be seeing that for a little while, just saying. But that's not a problem, it's just that darn good, let's be honest. Fourth up is where we began, Combee. It's another bug type that evolves at level 20 under gender restrictions found only by using honey. Gee, sounds like Burmy has a little friend. Once it is evolved, Vespiquen has some really fun moves. It can learn Power Gem, which is a rock type move of all things, and it's also the only Pokemon capable of learning Attack Order, Defend Order, and Heal Order. Attack Order being a bug type attack, Defend Order raising stats, and Heal Order, well, healing. It's a decent enough Pokemon, and it is one of the better bug flying types out there out of the abundance that are made available to you, but be warned! Make sure that your Combee is female. I cannot tell you how many people I knew when Diamond and Pearl came out who caught a Combee, raised it, and then by the end of the game, they were asking me, hey, when does Combee evolve? I got it to level 40 and it still hasn't, and I had to break the sad truth to them that male Combee is one of the most useless Pokemon ever because it never evolves. Next is Cherubi. This is anything but your typical grass type, doesn't learn many status moves, and it's oddly fast. It's built around functioning with the move Sunny Day, which it will learn leveling up. If you've got a fire type on your team or something like that, it might be worth considering because Sunlight powers up fire type moves and weakens water moves. The final honey-based Pokemon is Munchlax, and you will not be catching it, trust me on this. If you are lucky enough to obtain it, Munchlax is one happiness evolution away from getting you a Snorlax, which is one of the most powerful Pokemon ever to exist. Offensively a beast, unstoppable bulk, normal type, so it's capable of learning tons of moves, it's great. The reason why you won't be obtaining it is that Munchlax can only appear on 4 honey trees in the entire game. And these are randomly generated with every playthrough. And there is no way of knowing in-game which 4 they are for your playthrough. And as if all that's not bad enough, even if you did somehow slather honey on the one of the 4 trees that can possibly spawn it, you can only get an encounter once every few hours, and Munchlax is a 1% encounter rate! There are no other ways to obtain Munchlax or Snorlax in Diamond Pearl Platinum without transferring in from another game. And in my opinion, obtaining Munchlax in this game is the hardest to obtain legitimately available Pokemon without transferring. It's that hard to find. I have never once done it, nor have I ever met anyone who has, but maybe you have. Maybe you'll get lucky. And if you do, feel blessed, because it's what you are. You'll have gotten a very sweet reward from your honey. With all that honey talk finished, that sounds like some kind of dating sim when I say it like that, there is but one more thing I want to do in Floroma Town. Or rather, in the surrounding areas of Floroma Town. You recall that I said that you want to beat Team Galactic on a Thursday because something special would happen on Friday. Well, I'd like to introduce you to something special. This Pokemon is only here on Fridays, and it will not spawn, like I said, if you beat Team Galactic on a Friday, meaning you have to wait another week. Let's talk to it. Floon! This is our first field-based encounter. What do you say we catch it just for the novelty of having a field-based encounter here? Not because I want to use it on the team or anything. And also, it'd be kind of a waste to not see Bodhi fight in its evolved form at least once this video, so let's do it. This is Drifloon. Drifloon is our first ghost type. Specifically, it is ghost flying type. It's an HP-oriented tank, which is honestly pretty great considering it allows it to stand up to pretty much anything. Its immunities to normal fighting and ground are also really nice, allowing it to switch in a lot. Though, it has a fair number of weaknesses, 5 to be exact, so it might not be the best type in all situations. In Diamond and Pearl, it was level 22 when encountered, which was amazing! It was utterly broken if you could obtain it at this point. It's only level 15 in Platinum, though, it will know Gust when obtained, making it very good at fighting all these grass and bug types that we've been encountering. All there is to it, and man, there have been a lot of bios this time around. Not that I'm complaining, I do like explaining things, meaning that I, well, chose the right type of video to make back in my early days, but yeah, it kinda has been a lot around Floroma Town. I'm gonna just try to weaken it a little bit more. This Razor Leaf, even though it resisted, is still gonna do a lot. A little bit worried about a critical hit potentially doing too much. Weaken it. It's not red health, but it is pretty low. At Gust, once again, that is very good to have. All that done, though, it's looking pretty weak. How about we throw a Pokeball and see what we can do? Again, not wanting to use this on my team, I just want the novelty of it, especially because it is kind of on the rare side. Let's see. No. This is probably one of the toughest Pokemon to obtain that we've obtained so far. No, one of the toughest Pokemon we have encountered so far is what I was trying to say. You might want to use a stronger Pokeball on this if you are trying to seriously catch it for your team, so that is another reason why I wanted to point out those other types of Pokeballs, but I personally don't want to do that. 1, 2, 3. Wow, second try. Gotcha. Now here it comes. This is the thing that everyone talks about whenever they mention Drifloon. Looks cute enough, right? It's like a little balloon, and it has like an adorable animation of it like inflating and swaying. Because of the way it floats aimlessly, an old folktale calls it the signpost for wandering spirits. That is a little bit creepy, but the Platinum Pokedex entry is a pansy compared to the other Pokedex entries for Drifloon. With this really cheery upbeat music in the background, I'd like to read some of those for you. This is a balloon Pokemon. It is said that children grab onto it thinking that it is just an ordinary balloon, get entangled in its legs that are string-like, and it carries them off, never to be seen again. So this Pokemon is a kidnapper that disguises itself as a balloon, basically, or rather it just coincidentally looks like one. If that's not creepy enough, in the Japanese Pokedex entries, it does not merely kidnap children, but it takes them to what it calls the Land of the Dead. It's, no matter which way you look at it, at bare minimum it's a child kidnapper, and at the worst it's a child murderer. It's just, okay, I kind of think that if a kid got this in the real world, they would use it to get revenge on kids they don't like, or rather just to bully other children so they don't have to deal with them anymore, or something like that, but apparently they think it's a good idea to let 10-year-olds obtain these things, and, well, I'm in this universe a 10-year-old that obtained this thing. That is every single encounter in the general vicinity of Floroma Town that we could get without going any further. We did a lot this time. We took out Team Galactic, saving the Valley Windworks in Floroma Town. We had Bodhi evolve into a Grotle. We got to see him fight for the very first time against that Drifloon. We'll be seeing a lot more of him fighting in the near future. We also saw lots of new and rare Pokemon, and we got to fight Drifloon. So, with all that done, next time on Pokemon Platinum, we're gonna head out for Northern Route 205 and continuing with our adventure. See you guys then.